Hey guys, my name is Christine. Today we are playing
slumber party activities.
another sniper game.
Perhaps the game where you stand in front of a mirror and summon an evil spirit?
Super sniper. Snooper. Miper.
Or is it the eloquent folding of paper to reveal the future? And the fortune teller says, yes, you will be an author. Maybe it's the homemade potions you put on your face to make yourself more beautiful. And then a spoonful of honey and a dash of sugar.
Hi. Yeah, they actually turn black.
It's performing levitation. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Now, doesn't all of this sound like witchcraft?
Oh, wait, let's do something.
I am pretty much convinced there's a weird parallel between slumber parties and witch gatherings. To me, there's just a few too many occult themes hidden amongst the hair braiding and the pillow fights. Ghost, for example. They tend to come up as a common theme at slumber parties. Sometimes as ghost stories or scary movies. Now, my regulars on this channel know that I haven't...
No. And also... no. Oh!
Affinity for the idea
That's
of spectrals
crazy.
and spirits. But my mega fans know that there's one spooky device that I
Thanks,
will
Ella.
not touch. And that would be a Ouija board. You won't find me playing with music, even a commentator.
Ah! Ah!
Most of us have heard of this classic childhood test of courage. It has many variations, but the basic idea is this. You get yourself a good old candle or flashlight, you stand in front of a mirror in the dark, you say Bloody Mary 3 times, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a vengeful spirit in the mirror that may or may not kill you. Fun for the whole family. Now, if you actually see something in the mirror, what's most likely happening is a thing called tries to fill in the gaps when given a big stimulus.
Oh my god!
So your brain tries to piece together something familiar.
That's
It's why people
crazy.
see potato chips,
Yeah?
and that cloud looks like
Huh?
We girls also like to
Making a
practice our
video.
fair share of fortune telling at slumber parties. We have many devices to do
Scare
so.
them.
Paper fortune tellers that we used to call cootie catchers,
Duh.
magic 8 balls, the game MASH, which if you didn't know stands for mansion, apartment, shack, or house, and even the more modern game of Charlie Charlie is a take on a pretty old Spanish paper and pencil game called Juego de la Lapicera, also played by generations of girls trying to predict the future. Though I fully admit that despite my best efforts as a kid, I don't have much clairvoyance. Never really saw the whole single workaholic YouTuber thing coming. Speaking of creepy old traditions meant for kids, I know most of the internet mole people archaic rhymes like Ring Around the Rosie and Mary Mary Quite Contrary. But my personal favorite straight up slaps you in the face with brutality. No pocket full of Posey's poetic imagery here. I'm talking about the Lizzie Borden skip rope rhyme. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41.
Oh my god.
Let's just contextualize this for a moment here. This would be like somebody making up a cheery little kid song about the Manson murders. And they say we're the twisted generation. So I can't make a video about the creepy thing without mentioning our iconic toy, the doll. You know, the one toy that has documented cases of demonic possession, and who else has dolls? Witches. Witches have been using dolls
200
called puppets for centuries.
accuracy.
They're made of a lot of natural materials like carved fruit, potatoes, cloth, branches, and they're used to cast spells on people. Now, admittedly,
Down
girls at slumber
from
parties don't normally
there.
do have a tendency to make us feel uneasy sometimes, especially when they're in groups. And I think a lot of that has to do with the uncanny valley, in which an observer is more repulsed by an inanimate object the closer it resembles a human being. Just bear in mind, that's what little girls have been based on for centuries. The last occult slumber party game that I want to talk about is one that I never actually got to do. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. This is the game where you supposedly make a member of your witch party levitate off the ground. One girl lies on her back while everyone else gathers around and puts 1 or 2 fingers from each hand underneath her. Everyone chants light as a feather, stiff as a board several times and then counts to 3. And on 3, everyone is able to lift her up relatively effortlessly with just their fingers, as though she were practically weightless. But do be careful with this spell, young witches. In the event you should drop your levitating friend, your powers won't be advanced enough to heal a fractured spine. Now, what's actually happening in this circumstance is simple science. With everyone lifting on 3, the weight is evenly distributed, and fingers are a lot stronger than we give them credit for. Myth busted. I think I've made a pretty good case for the ladies have all secretly been raised as witches. But you know what? We live in modern times. Everyone can be witches and have whatever kind of slumber party they want. Play the spooky witch games or have a last gamer standing smash tournament. Discuss anime, work on a fursuit. Who cares? No rules. Just what makes you getting hurt. For real, I don't want to get a letter from a lawyer because one of you dropped some...
Oh no! I shot.
100% ground sadness. How about burrito? No, it's time to go big with 19 grams of protein and big pieces of meat and...
Some of you understand what you're about to get into. In 3 of my videos, I have mentioned a certain teacher of mine, a certain mentally unstable, vindictive teacher. Given that one of those videos has over 7 million views at the moment, people are getting a little curious about this infamous educator from my past. Well, gird thy loins, explainers and entertainers. Because we're finally talking about it, here we go. This is the story of my emotionally abusive high school theater teacher. Now, because it is theater, I know I run the risk of sounding like a crybaby, whining over their teacher not getting a part in the play, and trust me, I completely understand like that exists. I've been in theater a long time. But I'd like to think that this story has more to do with me being in an unhealthy authority figure relationship. I'm not a martyr here, I guarantee others... This woman did her damage. We'll call her Medusa, and fun fact number 1, that was her actual nickname, and she wore it like a freaking badge of honor. No joke, she put up a sign on the backstage door that said, "Keep out, beware Medusa." Boy, that should have been a warning in more ways than one. Okay, so I met Medusa my first year of high school. She was the only teacher running the entire theater department, so no matter what type of theater class you took, she would be teaching it. She also ran the theater club and directed all the after-school plays. All casting decisions were left up to her. You're catching my drift. She had a totalitarian grip on every aspect of this theater department. There was no other adult there to balance her out or, more importantly, witness her behavior. Now, for some context about who I was back then. In high school, I was remarkably shy, socially awkward, a goody two-shoes, a nervous wreck, and I didn't really have any friends, even in the theater club. I was a doormat, to put it bluntly. But when I stepped onto a stage, I was a completely different person. I could be strong and brave, confident and clever. I could show the world what I was made of. Performing was my release, my therapy. I guess that's why I didn't immediately take a powder when I learned how crazy this theater teacher was. I was holding out for that one big part, that one chance to show everyone what I could do. And pleasing this was the key to what I wanted. Yeah, that won't lead to anything bad, I'm sure. So what made Medusa so awful, I hear you asking? Well, for one, she was incredibly unpredictable. You never knew what kind of mood she was gonna be in or what was gonna set her off. A joke she laughed at yesterday would offend her the next day. One day she's kind and supportive, the next day she's catty and vindictive. And because of her volatile nature, it was a gamble anytime you needed to ask her a question or ask her
let's go!
Sometimes she'd stop and then sometimes she'd blow up in your face for wasting her time with a dumb question. Ask someone else. It would take me a stupid amount of time just to work up the courage to ask her a question before chickening out and finding a different way around my problem. Though I think one of the most frustrating things about Medusa was her favoritism. Plain and simple, if you weren't one of her favorites, there was a very low chance of you getting a big part in a play. Or sometimes a part at all. I'm not saying she was shallow.
I'm going into demonetization.
All of her favorites had 2 things in common. They were pretty, and they were popular. 2 skills your girl rolled a 0 on. Medusa also protected her favorites to an infuriating degree. One of them was a big bully of mine, and Medusa did absolutely nothing to stop it, even after I begged her to step in. I was talking to my mom about this script, and she told me that she once confronted Medusa about this bully at an after-school play, and Medusa was more concerned about him getting in trouble than what he was doing to me. Ooh, that is a very very brave thing to say to a protective mother. Correction, that is a very brave thing to say to my mother. So yeah, if you weren't one of her favorites, you were stuck in the chorus, as they say. Hey Becca, maybe you were just an awful
Nice.
actor. I mean, fair point. Maybe I just wasn't any good. Thing is, Medusa always gave me A's for my performance in the theater classes during the normal school days. Medusa even once rushed up to the stage after a dark, dramatic scene to give me a hug because she was so moved by my performance. So, you see, I got mixed signals from this woman
Next.
all the time. I didn't know
Sure.
what to think. Dang it, do you hate me or not? And this cat and mouse stringing me along emotional manipulation was what kept me hopeful. I'd think to myself, if I don't complain, if I do my best, if I do every little thing she asks of me, maybe one day she will throw me a bone. Maybe one day I will gain her favor and be given a good part in a play. Hey, you hear that? That's not good. That is not a healthy mindset to be in.
Bye guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified each and every time I make a new video like right now. Goodbye!
When senior year came,